Judgment here. Elektra, my first ever hardcore character on stream, was able to successfully complete her level, and as I usually do, I will go through the gear and skills that she had at this stage. Before I begin, I thought the gear she obtained merely while playing through the game was exceptionally good. I'll go through the skills first, since the gear, well, there's a lot of it. Nothing in martial arts. Shadow disciplines, 3 base points in burst of speed, 1 each in claw mastery, psychic hammer, cloak of shadows, mind blast. I decided to play without a shadow warrior or a shadow master. Traps where the bulk of the points went. Maximise fire blast, maximise shockweb, maximise lightning sentry. At this moment I'm working towards maximising wake of fire. I only put a few points into Death Sentry base 6 just for the radius effect. That's all you get evidently from Death Sentry. So to have a more versatile attack, I have gone for 3 modes of attack: lightning traps through either lightning sentry and Death Sentry, some physical damage through Death Sentry, and also the physical damage of the mercenary. I'll mention the mercenary now. He finished with honour in a giant thresher, treachery in mage plate, and bulwark in an ethereal ground crown. Her stats, she finished at level 87. We got 1 more level off the ancients and been working up since then. There's lightning sentry damage, fire blast, there's Death Sentry. So stats look like that. Advanced stats look like that. Notice the 102 magic find, that can be increased considerably. We have 40 attack speed, which affects your trap laying speed. And there's the rest of the stats. Mercenary stats are that. 45 attack speed from the treachery. 13 lifesteal from a combination of the honour and the bulwark. Here's the gear that she had when she defeated Bale. Spirit in a broadsword. Had a couple of versions of that. Law in an enhanced defence shako. One of a number of extremely good finds, Moses' Blessed Circle. A great low level shield and easily capable of playing through hell. The boots are still the imbue level boots from normal. Haven't found anything better yet. Still 2 Nagel rings. I think those 2 are the best of 4 that she found. That set of gloves, Talrasher belt, and notice that we've also found the helm and hustle. And because hustle and the mercenary's treachery are both made mage plate bases, I can do that if needs be. In fact, I may have actually had this on at the end of hell level, but I usually go with the hustle for the extra run walk. Oh, and over here, I don't think I mentioned the amulet. The amulet there was one we found back in Nightmare level, I think. But notice the huge boost of fire resistance. And if I take that off, a lot of the gear drops out, but I still have stat points remaining. In the inventory, charms, fire resistance, lightning resistance, cold resistance, poison resistance. She found a Geeds, fire, lightning, cold, poison, and a 6% magic find small charm. On switch, Staff of Teleportation. You'll notice that her resistances are all maximised. The stash to me is somewhat interesting because of the number of things that she will carry through to try and get better gear and possibly pass this on to other hardcore characters. So a couple of useful helms. Assassin Skill helm, 30 run walk and 53 cold resistance. All other resistances 19 hit my eye there. Jewels are just for crafting. Some rings. There's an attack speed jewel which the mercenary might be able to use. Fire resistance charm, probably drop that. Talrasher helm, and that's one of those items which I wouldn't include in the monthly drops video, but I did so for February 2025 because despite the relative ease of gaining, I thought it was a significant drop. 10% lifesteal. I'm hopeful that when we get the mercenary a better weapon, I can use that helm on the mercenary for its 10% lifesteal. Some gloves with better magic find, but they do unbalance the resistances. A magic find helm we've been carrying for quite some time, and the potential for a better magic find helm with a death mask, which has the same strength requirement as mage plate. 4-socket great hauberk, mercenary might get that. And the face of horror, which I used on the mercenary. It causes monster to flee, something of a nuisance, but the 20 to strength did enable him to equip an insight Colossus Vul earlier than might have been possible. In here, just other resistance charms, and I'll probably start throwing these away or give them to other hardcore characters. So 2 cold resistance charms there in combination with that helm will give an absolutely enormous cold resistance. I think that one, no, it's still a resistance charm, and there's a 33 magic find amulet. I won't worry, the gems there are just essentially for socketing, crafting, a couple of goes at insight, 2 crush flange maces, a rock stopper which oddly enough we never used, another belt, this time with cold resistance, a gull dagger which I've left in the shared stash in case the character dies and another character can use it, the angelic wings amulet ring combination, a couple of hell runes for desocketing. In this section of the shared stash, heart carver, the diggler, probably put those down. If I happen to need those, bring items in from softcore and Go Mule will tolerate that. I might show you that in a moment. Another 3-socket mage plate. 4-socket flail. She has found 2 mal runes and an arm. I've used the 2 co runes she's found so far to make hustle, and I have here a set of runes, Hel, Co, Thol, Ethfel, for obedience, and here I'm hanging out for an ethereal base with which to give the mercenary, because there is a 3-socket thresher. We could use that to make hustle the weapon variety, and there is insight in a Colossus Vul. Notice the strength of 210. His base level strength is 194, but if we give him the face of horror, he then has enough strength to equip that insight. But the moment he's using the honour, we could desocket the honour and make obedience in a non-ethereal base, but I thought I'd hang out for that ethereal base. So the idea here, we have 2 mal runes, lots of co runes required. We could make sanctuary if we find a suitable base, but the rune, I'm thinking Shale, Tur, we can go for Crescent Moon, and I'm trying to hang out here for a 3-socket crystal sword or possibly military pick, and that I think would be a better weapon than spirit. Certainly that's something I'd like to try now that traps work with rune words. This section of the shared stash, she found a key from the Countess, an ethereal unsocketed Colossus sword, and of all things the Cow King boots. They may even finish up on her here for the run, walk and the magic find, but we'll see how things go. If I swap those on at the moment, resistances do drop a bit, but remember we do have additional cold resistance in the stash if needs be, so we could say drop out some of the fire resistant stuff and put on those boots, but we'll stick with the ones we've got for the moment. As I said, I thought the gear that this character has found while playing through the game is big and exceptional. If I put on the gold dagger and the magic find helm, you can see here her magic find goes up to 274, which I thought was exceptional for a character just merely playing through the game. Lightning resistance is a little bit down, but still good enough to manage in many areas. There is Elektra's gears and skills and where I'm heading with this character. I'll devote a little bit of time here to show you something that you can do within Go Mule. We are in Go Mule here. Go Mule creates a hardcore stash and also a softcore stash, but what I've noticed is that you can swap items between them. You certainly can't do this using the normal shared stash between games, but if, for example, I open up the hardcore stash and I pick something a bit distinctive, Like for example the Angelic Wings amulet, I'm just going to do the normal Go Mule transfer of there over to there, and I've now transferred that into the softcore stash. And if I say load in a softcore character, fettered the Triangle Set Necromancer at the moment, you'll notice that Angelic Wings amulet, which originally came from the hardcore stash, has appeared in the softcore stash and can just be used as normal. So for those of you who are playing hardcore characters and softcore characters and using Go Mule, that is a possibility you may wish to exploit. We get 3. Well, thank you Trelcore, well done. Here we go. Shale. Tur. Put that, in fact we don't need that one anymore, so I'll put this spirit there. That can go there. There's our level.